Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Eliana Robles, and this is another interview. This time I will be interviewing myself upon my own questions. I wasn't quite able to get people to actually do the full interview or answer all the questions, and I go over it with all my experience and kind of wanted to get in on this and share upon my behalf. So let's get straight into it. And the first question, of course, what is your name? My name is Eliana Robles. What inspired you to dance? What I mentioned in my other videos, as I have previously said, what was my main inspiration in starting to learn how to dance was my sister. My sister was the first one who got involved in learning how to dance, and me and my mom would always go take her to her practices, and I would just wait. So many times just waiting, I kept on watching and watching. I would see how much fun it is, and hopping in on this, I wanted to join my sister and learn about my culture, learn about myself, and also being able to connect with so many more people. At what age did you start dancing? I believe I started dancing officially around the age of 7 or 8. So about 10 years now. Who inspired you most to dance? Ooh, who inspired me most to dance? Probably my teacher, my consultant, my godmother, which is Elaine Lingorius. Because she has always been such a huge role model. I've always admired her. I've always loved her style of dance. I feel like me and her both have that aspect of being elegant and kind of are really good in performing our arts. But as well, I would say my grandma who had passed away, I continue to do dance for her, and every single time I dance, I dedicate it to my grandma and my nana who had also passed away as well. What is your most favorable moment in dance? Ooh. I would have to say my most favorable moment in dance is probably at the Taste of Peru, because we would present one after another and would be like on the weekends always. And we would just hop from presentation to presentation. We go from point A to point B to point C, all the way coming back to point D, which is closed by point A, which is something crazy. But I feel like my most favorable moment was also winning my first competition. It was my it was my first competition. I had my teacher Elaine, I call her Elaine, teaching me with who is now her husband, Junior. I had been practicing for so long, and I had competed with Brian Flores, who is my partner, and we had won, and I was so happy because I felt like all our hard work had finally paid off. But most importantly, I wasn't dancing just to win, but I was dancing for myself, and I could definitely tell and feel, and even from now, that I was doing it just for my own enjoyment. And I feel like, honestly, that is the best type of performance when you dance, because you know it truly comes from your heart. I usually tend to drag on a lot, but let's go on to our next question. What is your biggest regret that you have in your dance career? And what were your struggles? My biggest regret... Oh, my biggest regret probably, I would say, arguing a lot or losing my patience with my with my mom and my sister, because I'd get so stressed out, and I would get stressed out. I didn't know what to do, so I would just kind of go on a rampage. I didn't know how to control that. And also, I feel like I missed out on a lot of events, a lot of school and events. I felt bad afterwards because all my friends would go and I wasn't able to go. Like, I'd get invited to sleepovers for my friends, like birthday party too, but I would have to say, hey, I can't go, I have dance presentation this day, or I have competition this day. There's just a lot of things I would miss out on. What is the biggest goal that you want to achieve in your dance career? My biggest goal, or something that I have always wanted to do, but never even had the time when I went to Peru, is practice with teacher in Peru. Actually, one of my overall teachers that I had wanted to practice with was Hugo Romero, and I had finally, in the last year in 2022, I was finally able to go ahead and practice with him. But the other one in Peru that I want to go ahead and practice with is Gisela. I really like her. I always see her videos, and I feel like she's a good teacher, and I hope she is, and I am excited to go ahead and take a class with her. But my overall goal, sorry, is to go ahead and continue and sharing my culture and expressing it and learning more and more about it. What opportunities have you gained with dance? I've actually gained a lot of opportunities. I've been able to do many presentations, like I said, from the Taste of Peru to dancing to the embassy. I've actually had a lot of interviews. I've been able to be on the news. I've been on Telemundo. I feel like if I really wanted to, I could apply to so many scholarships with dance. But I haven't because I procrastinate a lot. But my opportunities is that I feel like people have looked more towards me and kind of given me the respect because I have danced my culture, even though I am born here, I am second generation, but that I have continued to do that. And as well, the opportunity that has given me is to further connect with my family. I feel like dance is always a way of connecting, as saying, like, it doesn't just have to be like Peruvian culture dance. It can be like salsa, merengue. Dance is like a universal language, so knowing dance is you can be anywhere. It gives you rhythm, it gives you, I don't know, anything. You can honestly possibly do anything with it, and it kind of is like, it's the root of it. It's like a guidance, I guess. What made you want to teach? Recently, what made me want to start teaching again is that I feel like it is something I'm very passionate about. And now with my studies with here with senior project, learning how to become a teacher, learning the different styles, the different techniques to use, I've actually implemented that in my recent lessons that I've given. But my main reason that I have wanted to teach is that I wanted to share what I know and to pass it on, and kind of like monkey see, monkey do what I did, what my dance teacher, Eleni, did with me, and I kind of wanted to go ahead and pass that on. And a lot of it I kind of had in the back of my mind, and it's honestly eye-opening, and it's kind of like, wow, I get to finally see my own mistakes that I've made when I was younger, and I kind of want to go ahead and fix it. So something that I really like about teaching, because I also I'm very proud of it. What difficulties did you have teaching? What did you learn as becoming a teacher? Oh, a difficulty I've had teaching is sometimes the kids don't want to dance and the parents make them dance. They want their kids to go ahead and dance. Typically, the student will put no energy into it, and it's draining because you have your job, and your job is to go ahead and teach your student and make them improve. But if the student doesn't want to, or has no motivation, or doesn't want to do it at all, it can be really draining, and it's hard to try to keep that up because you want to be happy, and as a teacher you have to have this profile. You can't really do your job half-ass. You can't come to the dance class and have like no energy. So just be like, ugh. I've had days where I've completely, right off the bat, just want to stay home. But I know at the end of it, I have to find the energy. I have to let it go. Either I just have to put it to the side and still do what I need to do. Um, that's been one thing, but the other thing has been either the student does not listen, does not listen. And another thing I've recently experienced is that sometimes they won't give you the same respect as you do. And I finally get to see that, and I see how frustrating it is, because I want to I want the energy to be reciprocated. If I'm putting all my energy into the student, I want to or kind of expect the student to do the same towards me. So if I'm telling them to do something, I want them to be like, okay, let me go ahead and try it now. But sometimes they'll be like, oh, but why this? But why that? Can we do this instead? And it's kind of hard because some students want to go ahead and shift and change gear, and sometimes we're not there yet. And sometimes the students think that they're doing it right, they're doing a certain step right or a certain movement right, and then telling them that you should never say it's wrong, or it's something that rather I say we can improve on this. Sometimes they just say, no, I know what I'm doing, I know. And so it's kind of been hard because you can't get mad at them, but that's been some of my difficulties. How different is the Peruvian culture represented here in the United States compared to Peru itself? Overall in Peru, it's Peru. It's the origin, it's the roots of everything. Of course, everything is going to be bigger and better. I feel like in Peru, of course, you see dance everywhere. I remember when I went to Peru, even on the streets, they had like a random festival. No advertisement, no nothing, just because. Which that was something I'm very happy to see, because it just goes to show that they're very proud of their culture and where they come from. And the expression is very loud and bold, and you can honestly feel it. With here in the United States, typically here in Virginia, I've heard from a lot of Peruvians from competitions or even from Peru itself when they come here to visit, that here in Virginia specifically, it's not taken as seriously as it should. Of course, you do have like your few dancers like myself, my teacher, some of my other friends who do dance, that we do take dance seriously, but it's kind of hard to overcome that reputation when a lot of people just expect that. They expect something horrible. How are the environments different? I would say the environments are different, and the manner that dance is their life, and it kind of evolves around that. Like, they go ahead and they practice every day. In Peru, it is required for you to do a traditional dance, so they grow up learning that. Here it's based off of interest. If you want to go ahead and do it, go ahead and try it out. You can go ahead and hopefully find a teacher. If you don't like that teacher, it's a little bit difficult to go ahead and find another teacher, as there's not that many teachers. I know now here in Virginia, there's probably like 5 now, because a lot of them stopped dancing or they went ahead and they moved. Yeah, and overall in Peru, I feel like the environment itself is just more calm. It's not the overall workload or your lifestyle isn't so much rushed. And we're here in the United States, everything is rushed, everything is scheduled, and trying to fit it in. What is your own experience from dancing both here in the United States and Peru? So the only time I've actually danced in Peru was for my grandpa's 60th, 70th, my grandpa's 70th birthday party. I wasn't able to go ahead and have a practice, but I know just from that one presentation I did for my grandpa, I did feel more stares, because of course if I go ahead and I mess up, they obviously know. They know what is expected. They know what it normally looks like. I would rather hear if you go ahead and you present in front of a crowd in like a school assembly, they don't know what it is. So anything that you do is new to them. And so they don't know what's wrong or what it should look like. And so presenting there, the standards are high and they should be high. That's all I would have to say. What made you want to go to the competitive level? What made me want to go to the competitive level is, as well, for a lot of people, I like the adrenaline. I like fighting for what I want. I like showing what I know. And me, always as a dancer, I've always done better under pressure. So if my teacher Eleni, would go ahead and tell me, oh, smile, quiebrate, use your head, I wouldn't use it in practice as much as I would on the actual dance floor, which has always been me. You always have like fight or flight, and I would always go ahead and fight, which was something good but also bad because I should automatically go ahead and practice that in practice, but I didn't. So competing, I like that, and I also like competing amongst people my own age group. How much would you typically train during the week? So on like a regular time, like off season, probably like 2 to 3 times a week. The most 3 hours, but that's besides like any like dance workshops. But like if I'm competing for something, probably 4, 5 times. Typically like for 2 hours each, I would have my own individual hour and then my hour with my partner. Hi, it was very intense. Very intense. Next question. What piece of advice would you give to a dancer? I really liked what Carrie said. Continue if you love it. Which I would have to agree with that because, as I said with my teachings that I do for my students, if they don't like doing it, then I always tell them, if you don't want to go ahead and dance, I understand. You can go ahead and tell me. I won't get offended, and we can just end the class. But if you really do love it, give it your all. If you really want to learn more, ask questions, listen. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of failure. And it's okay to lose. It's okay to lose because from losing, we learn from our mistakes. Winning isn't about winning a prize, winning a sash. It's not even about that. Sometimes the actual winners, the true winners, that the people who should win, don't win. And I've been one of them for many times. And don't listen to the backlash and the back talks people say about you, because the only thing is that it will just bring you down. Sorry, I am very emotional. I'm very invested in this, and I love it. What is something that you would like to share with somebody who doesn't know much about Peruvian culture? Oh my god, my whole presentation was about this. I would like to share everything. I would like to share every single dance. I would like to share our food, our traditions, our dances, the different types of dances. I would share everything. But just a simple thing I could say right now is that Peru is amazing. Peru is beautiful. Take a look at it. Take a look at the people, at the food, at the culture, and just really sit in it. Listen to the music. Listen to the criollo music. It's beautiful and it's nice. Next question. What makes you proud about being Peruvian? What makes me proud of being Peruvian is that I can share my culture through dance. I am proud to be able to carry out the tradition, and now today being the only grandchild living here in the U.S., a second generation, doing Peruvian folklore. that is honestly amazing, and it's something beautiful, and I don't want to go ahead and lose that. So what makes me proud of being Peruvian is making my grandpa proud. I love my grandpa. What are some things that go on behind the scenes in dance? Ooh, this is a lot. There's a lot of gossip. There's a lot of people talking. Specifically in competition, there is a lot of money involved. A lot of people will pay their way up, and it's not right, but it's everywhere. So, as I said before, the true winner doesn't always win, and you'll go ahead and you'll see that. And there's also people who cheat, people who go with multiple dance teacher, and there's a lot of people who fake. People fake their face, their image, just to get a higher platform. What does it take to be a dancer? What does it take to be a dancer? This is nice asking my own question. What it takes to be a dancer is being emotionally involved. Because if you're not emotionally involved in it, then I feel like there's nothing that will go ahead and motivate you and push you, you know? It takes persistence. It takes persistence. It takes time. It takes patience. Don't lose your patience. I do that a lot, but it is a lesson I'm learning still, and I wish I could take my piece of advice, but take my piece of advice. What makes you different compared to others? What makes me different compared to others is that I try with like my actual dance and the art that I perform. I dance from the heart. So cliche. I dance from the heart, and I honestly prefer to freestyle than to dance with choreography. Because freestyle, I am open to everything that I know. I get to showcase everything that I know. And while dancing in a choreography, you're limited, and sometimes you have a little bit that you can show what you know, but not always. But what makes me different compared to others is that also winning isn't everything, and competition isn't for me anymore, but I really did like it, and I want to continue doing it for me and for my grandpa. What is Marinera Norteña to you? Marinera Norteña is it is a love story. It is a love story of two people coming together where the guy tries to conquer this woman. This guy tries to conquer this woman. He tries to flirt with her, try to get her, but the girl is trying to like, no, go away. I don't like you. She's still pushing him away to the side, but she's still flirtatious. I kind of like that. I guess I kind of am like that because it's all that I've known. You didn't hear that. But Marinera Norteña is something I'm very passionate about. So that's what it is to me. It's my passion. It's my love. It's my everything. What message is it that you want to transfer when you dance? The message I want to transfer is that I'm loving what I'm doing. I may be smiling, I may be breathing hard, but you can't see, or you might be getting tired. But my message that I want to share is that I love it. I love what I'm doing. I'm enjoying it, and that's it. And I'm having fun. Overall, I'm having fun. I like what I'm doing, and yeah. And that is it for this first part. So I will go ahead and I will end this video now, or this part, and I will go ahead and record again for the second part. Okay, we are back. We just had a little small break. Here's my water. Okay, great. So we finished this part. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go to the second part. Okay. A lot of the questions are repeated again, so let me just go over it. How much do they practice? Do I practice now. I haven't practiced in a while. So, question answered. What does the routine consist of? My routine consists of a warm up. Typically, I stretch before my hour starts, so I can go ahead and get into it. I do my warm up with my teacher. Then I go ahead and dance 2 songs, and then from there, my teacher will see what improvement I need, and then from there she will go ahead and select it. Either we'll practice on my zapateo or we'll practice in my paseo, which is the beginning of the song, typically the soft part of the song. We'll go ahead and work on that, and then if there be like a specific step, I'll go ahead and practice that. And she'll look at me doing by myself, and then with her, and then by myself again. And then we'll go ahead and practice dancing the full song and see if I implement it and if I improved. Or sometimes, rare, where a whole practice will be just of zapateos or just cardio, just to work on speed. But yeah. That the first part is what my routine typically consists of. What does dance mean to them? It's my passion. I love it. Do I have one teacher, multiple teachers? So before, when I was younger, started growing up, I had 2 teachers. I had Victor Ruiz. He was my guy teacher, and then of course I've always had Eleni Lingorias. Working with both of them, it was honestly it was nice because, one, with Victor, I would work more on my zapateo because he's a guy, so guys are more about strength and they're a little bit rough. So with him, he really pushed me in a lot and I liked it. And then with Eleni, it was honestly really nice because it was a balance. So she's very calm and sweet, and she'll go through it step by step, which is good to go ahead and perfecting it. So it was a balance. One was rough, one was soft. I wouldn't say soft. You know, it's more delicate about kind of going through and explaining the step and what needs to be done and showing how it should look and what I'm doing. So yeah, but now I have one teacher, Elena Lingoria still. She's been my teacher my whole time of dancing. She's fixed my mistakes and everything. Next question. Do I prefer performances or competitions? Now I prefer performances because I'm not really so much about competitions anymore. I do want to do a competition soon because I like doing it just for fun. I like the excitement. I like knowing if I'm going to go to the next level or what score I got or competing against another person my age. The performances, I just like it because it's not so much strict and on a guideline. And with competitions, you know, you have to follow some criteria. And it's like, it's more intense, but I wouldn't say like for performances, they're not as intense. But there's like more steps that you can do and more things you can try out when you're presenting in a performance than in a competition. I would go ahead and show you, but I can't show you right now. Is winning important? And what do I gain from it? Winning is not important. As I've said, winning is not important. You shouldn't get sad about losing because at the end of the day, that shouldn't be your overall goal. It's okay to lose because you go ahead and you learn from your mistakes, but it also serves to humble you. A lot of people who win all the time and they have that one competition where they finally lose, it hits a nerve and like they have a breaking point. They don't know what to do because all they've done is won. So I feel like losing is still good because it goes ahead and humbles you and I guess to see from a different point of view of what to work on. I guess what people gain from winning is, I guess, a confidence boost, which is okay, understandable. Who wouldn't want to win? Do Do I prefer dancing free or with choreography? I prefer dancing with, libre, which is free. Again, because I can do everything that I know and showcase it. What qualities do you need to dance Marinera Norteña? We went over this. We need persistence. We need confidence. We need energy. We need speed. A lot of things come into play. Already as a girl and dance, you have to have good posture. Your head has to be up, tilted up. You have to smile always. You have to use your head. You have to be sexy. You have to use your hips when you're doing natural, because you can't be walking. You're always walking on your tippy toes. You have to use your falda. Make sure it's high, not low. Can't be touching your body. Always have to be moving somehow. Use your pañuelo. There's a lot of things you're doing all at once. You have to lift up your legs too when you're doing zapateo. It's a lot of things. Don't be afraid. Don't get scared of feedback. Don't get scared of feedback, because feedback will help you. Okay, we already saw this. Okay. Do I see dance as a priority? Not so much anymore. I feel like my priority now is more in teaching. So my priority in teaching is making sure that these two girls go ahead and improve each time. And I've talked to them and I've told them it's okay if we have one class where we're just doing ochos, or we're just working on one zapateo, because we want to go ahead and improve on that and make sure we're good and we feel confident in doing it before we move on and adding more things onto our plate. But me, myself, for dance as a priority, before, yes, because I would want to go ahead and compete. So it was a priority, especially to go ahead and get at those practices as much as I could. Do I love dance as a passion, or do I see it as a hobby? Dance as a passion. I wouldn't invest myself like my whole life. I wouldn't go ahead and solely be about dance. But I wouldn't say it's a hobby either. So I would say it's my passion because I love it, and it's always something I can always come back to it and do it and stop. So I guess you could say it's a passion. But I still dance myself when I can. Even when I go out to parties, I still dance. What does my daily routine consist of? My daily routine consists of just going to school, doing my work, recently seeing about my classes for school, working, going to the gym. That's about it. But for dance, right off the bat, right as soon as I got out of school, I would have to go ahead and I would go to practice. So, and it would be like an hour drive away, practice for an hour, drive back, an hour drive back if there wasn't traffic, which is always a lot. It's always rushed with dance. How many times a week do I practice? At least once. I won't practice like for a full hour, but I will do a little like 1, 2, 3. Even here when I dance in my room, I'll dance a song in my head, or like in school. I catch myself when I'm just in my thoughts. I'll go ahead and I'll do a dance step, and I've had my friends ask me, "What are you doing?" Nothing. Do you feel like you miss out on things because of dance? Yes, I have said that. I feel like I missed out on a lot of things because of dance, because it was a priority before. Just a lot of things that my friends were doing I wanted to do too. I didn't want to feel, I have the fear of missing out. FOMO. I have FOMO. Okay, that's what I had. Do you practice at home or only in the classroom? Before, when I was younger, I used to be like, no, you know what? I'm just going to say I'm going to practice it at home. And then when I come back to the class, I was like, oh, shoot, what did we do again? And my teacher could definitely tell. So I'd be like, I would always like leave it up to the next dance practice. But afterwards, I learned that you have to go ahead and like practice at least once what you learned at home before you go back to class. So yes, I do practice by myself at home. Do you want to learn more? Become better. You can always learn more. Learning never stops. Learning keeps on going. The knowledge keeps on growing. And with that, I do want to become better. Practice makes perfect, but there's no such thing as perfection. You can think you're perfect and keep on reaching up towards there. Do you find dance or does dance find you? Dance found me, because I said before, I wasn't looking to get into dance. I wasn't one of those dancers whose parents put them in dance. I saw it for my sister, and again, I wanted to go ahead and try it out for myself. Do I enjoy dancing? Of course I do. I love it. I love it when I share when my students ask me, can you do a dance for me? That is the biggest thing. That is the biggest energy boost. I love it. I feel so proud. Do you ever feel like it becomes too much and then you need to take a break? And if you do take a break, do you miss it? So actually, I guess you could say I am on my break. I have danced, but I haven't danced as much in like earlier years, you know? So it has been like a light season, but there has been like a lot of presentations. But typically it is like a lot heavier than what I have shown. And I do miss it. I do miss practicing like all the time. I miss like seeing my friends. But it's also not the same because with those same people I have grown up doing dance, of course, you know, life moves on. They moved on. A lot of them have gone to college. A lot of them have already graduated college. So it's a little hard. A little nostalgia moment. A little deja vu. Do you look forward to dancing, or do you find yourself feeling pressured to make it and making it become dreadful? I do look forward to dancing. I love dancing. It is something that I love, something that I've done for so many years. So now being able to do it on my break, you know, I always look forward to it. If they call me to do a presentation here, I'm like, oh, okay, I have to dance Valicha? Nice. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go. I have to dance Wailas? Let's go. You know, it's something fun. You know, I don't do it all the time now. I'm not like pressured into having to do a certain presentation. No, I love it. Before, yes, it did become dreadful because I told you it would be like every weekend. Both Saturday and Sunday would be presentations, so there wouldn't be as much free time. If you had more time, would you spend more time on dancing, such as practicing? Maybe, but I wouldn't say I would put all my time into it. I would probably make sure if I could get like all my priorities done first and then go ahead and do dance. Okay, we already talked about this. Is there something that pushes you to do better? My family. Have you ever competed in another state? Yes, I have competed in another state. I've competed here in Virginia, in North Carolina, in Georgia, in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. I haven't gone to Miami. I was going to. And yeah, there's actually dance presentations all around the US, but then you also have dance presentations like in France and England, which you wouldn't think of, but they're actually there. How is it different or similar? It's the only difference I would say is depending on the state. If there's like a lot of Peruvians who are there, then there'll be like a lot more people. But the similarity is that typically, and if you go to dance competitions a lot, you'll see like a lot of the same faces, and they'll still be there. They'll go ahead and they'll follow you, but it's just honestly nice. Okay, we're ahead and we are done with this. So let's go on to this next one. Okay, another water break. So this next part that we're gonna go into, onto on how dance has affected the family and the financial burden. So what does the household look like? Is it always busy? As I've said before, more presentations, more competitions. It does get a lot busier, and before we were never really home because we would always be out on the not on the street. We'd always be out going somewhere. Practice would be on a daily. It would be weekly. It would be for 2 hours, 3 hours, and it would be far away. So yes, I used to be always busy. Continuing, my next question is, how much do you pay weekly, monthly, or per year? Now, because once in a while for dance practices can go ahead and cost around 25, I would say, to $40 per practice. But also that's not even taking into account how much you have to pay for gas, because sometimes it can be like an hour away, or you can go ahead and be stuck in traffic. So that's money there that's being wasted. When it comes to monthly too, if you are like in a dance group, you also have to pay like your monthly deposit so you can stay within the dance group. And sometimes you have to pay for your dance attire. And for Money Nita, if you want to get something like custom. Now, some designers, some specialists in that will go ahead and charge like $1,000 minimum for that. And that's not even including jewelry, because it is dipped in gold or is completely like gold. It can be very expensive. Do you see dance as a passion or as an investment? I see dance as a passion, but as well as I see investing into dance attires, because for that I can go ahead and do more presentations, and then I can go ahead and get more known, and further from that I kind of like expand from there. But first it starts off as a passion, and that's where I still am. Either way, at the end of the day, it is my passion. I love doing it, and I have no regrets, so it just grows from it. It's like the root of it all. Okay, next question. Do you practice consistently weekly? I used to practice weekly. Now I just practice whenever I can. If I don't practice, like I'll do like a little, like I said, a little 1, 2, 3 in my room. Even when I go out to like parties or just like home parties, whatever, I can go ahead and I still dance. Sorry. Is your schedule based on dance? Do you have to adapt other plans based on your dance practice? Do you move things around for it to work out to your schedule? Before, my schedule used to be based upon dance, so I would say, yeah, I'm dancing. I have dance practice Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. Thursdays I can go ahead and I have my group practice, but on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I have my own individual practice for me and myself, and then on Saturday I'll go ahead and I practice with my dance partner, and from there we'll go ahead and see with our schedule. Or sometimes like with presentation, like if I have a wedding, like a family wedding, and I already said yes that I was going to go ahead and I was going to dance to this presentation, I couldn't be able to go to the wedding because I had already committed to that. So if I say yes, I have to give my word and go through with it. So yes, before, a lot of it, my schedule used to be surrounded by my dance schedule, but now dance tries to find itself into my schedule. And now, like when I say with teaching, can you go ahead and teach this date? I would say, no, I'm sorry, I can't. I can't stay out too late because I have a big test the next day and I don't want to stay up that late. Or actually I have this, and I'd rather not it be rushed and like, not give it like my 100%. So now it's kind of like I fit it into my schedule. Next question. How much does each dance attire cost? Like I said, it can cost like around like $1,000, probably $1,000 to $5,000. It depends on the type of material, on the design, how heavily detailed you want it to be. I know for marinera, long skirts typically cost more than short skirts, which the short skirts are called anacos because they only come up to your knee. So that means less fabric being used. For festejo, to maybe like $200 for your festejo. Valicha, I know Valicha costs more because it's made out of wool, so that's a thicker material, and it's originally made there and handcrafted. Each thing honestly depends, but it can get pricey, and up to who you're going to pay for. Of course, people, if you live here in the United States and you're trying to get something done from Peru and you know you live in the United States, they automatically think you have a lot of money, so they'll go ahead and upcharge you for a lot of those stuff. So I know a lot of my dance attire I've had to ask my family members who already live in Peru to go ahead and pick it up or place the order or whatever. How does the family get stressed out when it comes to dance presentations or performances? Yes, as I've said, it's come to be very stressful, and it so happens to be because I get stressed out and I lose my patience and I get frustrated because I feel rushed, that me and my family have actually gotten into a lot of arguments because of it, and because of the stress that I have wanted to quit dance for that reason, because it has gotten too stressful, and I found it afterwards after a while, because before then I told you I would have presentation after presentation. Each weekend was always a presentation, always dance, always this. I had gotten to my breaking point that I was just tired of dance, that I just wanted to be at peace, I just wanted to calm down, that I just wanted to stay at home. And so now I enjoy my time and my space because I never really got to just fully relax, sit down, kick my legs back up and watch a TV show as I do now. So it does cause a lot of stress and argument in the household. And so it does get really stressful. Because a lot of times last minute, when you're there in that, like, the actual presentation, and be like, oh, okay, you'll go ahead and you'll get there, and they'll be like, okay, in 5 minutes you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna dance, and I'll be like, what? I can't even like set up to like go ahead and like review and practice over. No, you just have to go. Have you ever traveled anywhere for dance? Yes, as I've said before, for my dance competitions, North Carolina, Philadelphia, I'm already missing a place. Georgia, New York, and New Jersey. Next question. Does dance cause any stress? Yes, I did say that. Because also as well, because a lot of money comes into place. If you think about it, if let's say you're spending $20 an hour for a teacher, right? And you want to go ahead and practice 3 times a week. 3 by 20, that's $60. Spending $60 a week, and then if you go and continue doing it, each month is like 4 weeks, so that all adds up. Money is a key thing here, and it's just so stressful because then there's a lot of arguing, and if then you don't like it, you don't do a good job. A lot of parents, they're like, oh, you didn't do this, you don't go ahead and do this, you're not putting your energy in it, you know how much money I'm putting into it, you know how much things I had to stop, you know what else I could be doing. It's just so stressful. Has there been any trouble paying for a dance attire or dance classes? Me personally, not that I know of, or that my mom has told me, but for dance attire, I've kind of invested in some pieces that will go ahead and help me and benefit me afterwards. Like, you always have to have a black skirt, you always have to have a white skirt, you always have to have one that's really detailed. I have like now maybe, oh, and then like a competition skirt. Sorry. I think I would have like now 4 or 5 that I use for presentations that aren't just the plain black and white ones. But and wanting to get more. I've never really wanted to get more skirts because they do take up a lot of space, but having any trouble, I don't think so. Not that my mom has told me. And then the last question is money an important factor when it comes to participating in dance? Yes, because you have to pay for classes, pay for competitions, you have to pay the entrance fee, you have to pay the gas, you have to pay the teacher to go ahead and practice. Sometimes they'll go ahead and charge you more because it is, excuse me again, competition season, so it gets busy. And then you do see a lot that people pay to get a certain place in a competition, which is a big thing. And then my other thing that I did not see here is when you go ahead and you do dance as a girl, it's not just money in the practice. You have to pay for your to get ready. You have to pay for your hair. For your hair, I know if you want to get it done by somebody, though, that's $100. If you want to get your makeup done too, that's another $100. So each person has their like own like status. They'll I won't name names. There's a lot of marinera makeup artists that go ahead and upcharge, and sometimes their work isn't that much, so you want to go ahead and invest in your own product so you can go ahead and try it yourself. For your hair, you have to have hair gel, you have to have the little small hair ties, the actual hair ties, so you can go ahead and put in your hair, and a ponytail. You have to get a hairnet, you have to buy hairpins, and that all adds up. In the marinera too, you have your pardo. For makeup, you have to have full face of makeup. You need primer starting off, you need concealer, you need foundation, you need powder, you need to do your eyebrows, you need mascara, you need blush, you need highlighter, you need bronzer, you need lipstick, you need gloss, you need finishing setting spray. It's just a lot of things that add up slowly, little by little. And then it becomes worse when, like, let's say you forget something at the presentation or it gets stolen. You have to go ahead and you pay for that too. So it's not cheap to dance, but if you really love it, you won't even think about it at first. And then once you know you're like invested completely and you know within your heart, then you'll just go ahead and you'll have fun. That's the most important thing. To finish this video off, this is all I have to say. Thank you for staying with me this whole entire time. I know I ramble a lot, but I feel like it's really good because I go into detail. I know this video is going to take long, which is why I pushed it back for so long, because I know I was going to keep on talking, and I do have more to say, but I don't want to make this video any more longer than it is. So thank you for this. This is my own interview, and stay tuned. Bye.